Hi, welcome to another episode of I Am Trans News. I am your hostess, as always, Novana Beta, and today we're going to be talking about a trans man, and he was attacked in a hate crime in Cleveland, and we're going to be watching this video, and then we're going to give you some thoughts at the end of the video. So just make sure that you go ahead and you like this video and subscribe, so that you are always in the know about what's going on in the transgendered community. So without further ado, here we go. It might be a commercial. We'll have to see.
Looking for a place to watch the game?
Hold on. There's a commercial. They got me. But, yeah, so. Just waiting for this to end. I don't want them to a random commercial in here. There we go.
This year has been the deadliest year on record for members of the transgender community here in Cleveland. Police are searching for a man accused of attacking a trans man after he got off an RTA bus. Investigator Kelly Kennedy sat down with the victim. Tonight, she's digging deeper into the prevalence of hate crimes in our community.
28-year-old Myles Utz tells me he's used to walking the streets in fear, but still, he never hides who he is. The transgender man tells me he was getting off an RTA bus on East 12th and Lakeside Avenue when he was attacked. He tells me he believes that he was targeted.
I'm still feeling traumatized. I still have PTSD about it every day.
On November 16th, Myles Utz says he was getting off an RTA bus. As he was getting off the bus, he told the driver he was trans. He tells me when the man behind him overheard him, things took a turn.
He's like, I don't care what you say. It's how you act. You say those kind of words, you get you killed out here. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Utz tells me then that man followed him and continued to threaten him.
He just pulled the chain out and got me right in the leg and whipped me right in front of those people. There's 3 people in the bus stop.
Cleveland police say after that, the man grabbed a red bike from the front of the RTA bus and took off. Police are investigating the assault as a hate crime.
He was wearing red pants. I remember zippers going down, black jacket, and he was light-skinned. You know, like, looked like maybe he was Latino or something.
Police on scene said Utz's ankle was swollen. Paramedics took him to the hospital to get checked out. 2 weeks later, and he still isn't physically healed. But the mental toll it's taken on him is far worse.
It's still swollen. I can barely walk. I had to use an air cast for almost 4 or 5 days. In the hospital, I couldn't even use it because, I almost committed suicide because of it. I almost killed myself. Because of this guy.
Unfortunately, we've learned hate crimes against the trans community in Cleveland are not an uncommon occurrence. According to Ileana Turan with the LGBT Center of Cleveland, at least 10 members of the trans community have been violently killed since 2012.
The records themselves of trans attacks are not complete because the way that the medical examiner records anti-trans attacks and murders is that they don't record that they were trans.
Ileana Turan is a trans woman.
And what I found is that unfortunately Cleveland has a very high rate of anti-trans violence. We are actually a national epicenter.
Turan is also a member of the board for the LGBT Center of Cleveland.
I've known so many trans people who, would walk in the center or, approach me and they would share stories about, getting beat up, getting robbed, getting jumped.
The center is one of the few places Utz still feels safe.
I'm afraid to walk the streets. I'm only here in this area because I know it's safe.
Data submitted to the FBI by Cleveland police shows there were 17 hate crimes committed against trans people in Cleveland in 2020, and a total of 26 hate crimes committed against the LGBT community last year.
I could shed a tear, but you know what? I'm a man, trans man, and I'm going to be strong for my people and be strong for those who don't have a voice, who can't speak, who won't speak up because they've been assaulted and been beaten.
I've learned Ohio currently does not have a law on the books that specifically protects people from discrimination based on gender identity or sexual orientation.
If you're shut out of gainful employment, if you're shut out of safe housing, you are then ending up in situations that make you so much more vulnerable to violent attacks.
A law that would ban this kind of discrimination in our state has been proposed more than 10 times in the past 20 years. Now it is once again making its way through the Ohio legislature. Advocates are hopeful that this time around, it'll pass. Reporting in downtown Cleveland, Kelly Kennedy, 19 News.
Alright, so that was the video that I wanted y'all to check out. I'm so sorry that Myles had to go through being assaulted. It's just really sad. Far as me being assaulted, I have never been assaulted as a trans person, but I have been assaulted before I transitioned. I was assaulted multiple times, actually. I remember one time I was stopped by a gang of guys, me and my friend, who's also trans now, and we were held at gunpoint, and they took what we had, and after they took everything that we had, they told us to go into an alley, follow them into an alleyway at gunpoint. Fortunately for us, we both made it out of that situation because I ran and my friend unfortunately was assaulted, and it was just really sad and very traumatic, and that was just one of the most horrendous attacks that I've been part of. And I think it's just so sad when we are attacked for being who we are and being our authentic selves in this world. I hope that they finally pass this bill in Ohio. It's sad that this legislation has been brought up multiple times and has constantly been declined into making it law. Ohio doesn't seem like it's a safe place for transgender people or potentially people of color, from what they were saying. And it's just really sad that people are going through this all around the world. So my heart goes out to Myles, and I hope that they catch the person that assaulted them. But unfortunately, a lot of these cases, they don't find the person that assaulted them or even killed them. So again, my heart goes out to Myles. I hope they pass this legislation. And if you have any stories that you would like to share, please leave it in the comment section below. Also, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you're alerted to all the content that is going to be coming up on my page and that I post. As always, I am Novana Beta, and this is I Am Trans News.